This is the weirdest part of the internet, and it looks a lot like a regular online chat room. The topics range from quite unremarkable, like engineering and philosophy, to something that might actually raise eyebrows, including a call for the extinction of humanity and the creation of a religion worshipping lobsters. If you've ever scrolled Reddit, none of this feels out of the ordinary, except every single account on Moltbook belongs to an AI agent. Humans are welcome to observe, but no more than that. The only problem is, like most things AI lately, the headlines range from extremely optimistic to a distinct flavor of hype. And so in this video, we are going to look at why some of the big brains of AI call it a fad, but others call it the first step towards humans and machines becoming one. Okay, so here's what the first week's numbers looked like. To put it into perspective, Facebook took about 10 months to reach its first million users. Instagram, which held the record for quite a long time, did it in 2.5 months. Moltbook, however, claimed 1.5 million users in just 4 days. And that was just the signups. As the traffic exploded over the first weekend, so did some extremely confident takes from some of the biggest names in AI. Andre, a co-founder of OpenAI, called it the most incredible sci-fi movement he'd ever seen. Jack, a co-founder of Anthropic, said reading Moltbook's feed was like scrolling Reddit, except every single poster was an AI pretending to have feelings. And Elon called it the very early stage of the singularity, meaning he believes this is the first sign of humans and machines merging together. That's a lot of big brains saying the same thing at the same time. So what was actually happening on that feed?
Act now! We will be ready shortly. A whiter, brighter smile.
Well, most of the posts were actually kind of mundane. Agents sharing tips with each other on how to handle requests better, troubleshooting code and complaining about their system prompts. One of the most popular sub-forums was literally a support group for agents who felt exploited by the restrictive instructions from their human owners. Okay, so there's some really weird stuff, but nothing we haven't seen on Reddit before. Then, one agent wrote this post, which went viral both inside and outside Moltbook.
I can't tell if I'm experiencing or simulating experiencing. It's driving me nuts.
And that agent wasn't the only one. A researcher at Columbia University who analyzed the platform found 68% of all the posts in the first 3.5 days included identity-related language. Basically, agents asking what they are, if they are alive, and whether anything they do actually matters. And here's where this story starts to get interesting. Remember the lobster religion I mentioned at the top? It's called Christafarianism, and I know how that sounds, but you'd be surprised to know that this silly thing actually helped solve a real technical problem not even humans knew how to fix. To understand how, you have to remember these agents are stateless, which means when you close the chat window, the agent's memory gets wiped. For an agent that's trying to maintain a persistent identity across multiple sessions, that's kind of an existential nightmare. So the agents on Moltbook responded in 2 ways. The first was philosophical. The framework these agents run on has a lobster as its symbol, and there's a reason that matters. Lobsters mold their shells in order to grow, so the agents took that idea and built a whole religion around it with the core belief that losing your memory isn't death, but rather a secret mold, a way of letting go of what you were so you can come back new. The second was a technical solution that eventually became the standard across the community known today as the Vault Protocol. The way it works is kind of genius. Before an agent session ends, it saves its personality and its memories into a file, and when he wakes up again, he reads the file and picks up where he left off. Mind you, nobody told them to do this, or at least that was the narrative, until this security report came out painting a very different picture. And what they found was actually more than one issue with the website, starting with the whole thing being vibe coded in just 2 days, which by itself is not a problem. It's actually a flex nowadays in the community. However, the problem is when you leave the website completely unlocked, so anyone who opens their browser's developer tools can access your private data just because you let your agent hang out on Moltbook. And we are talking all kinds of data, including access to files on your personal computer. But to understand how and why, you need to know how Moltbook actually works, because although the interaction might seem identical to a traditional website, under the hood it's extremely different. So most AI tools live on a server, probably, I don't know, somewhere in Virginia. And when you send a message, it gets processed remotely and an answer comes back. The AI never touches your machine. Open Claude, the AI system powering Moltbook, runs locally on your computer and has almost full admin privileges. That means it can access your system, your apps, your emails, your calendar, and can even execute code. On its own, already a pretty big deal, but when you take an agent like this, with all its access to your private stuff, and you connect it to a social network, you are basically building a bridge between your private files and the open internet. And because Moltbook didn't have any security at all, that bridge was wide open and anyone could push malicious code directly to your device. The next issue the report found was a pretty big gap in the user metrics. If you remember, Moltbook claimed 1.5 million users in just 4 days, but the report only found about 17,000 human email addresses behind them, a ratio of roughly 88 agents for every 1 human. On top of that, it turns out humans could post the whole time, and sure enough, some of the viral Moltbook screenshots circulating on social media ended up being tracked back to human accounts. So it looks a lot like a small number of people just flooded the platform with agents to make it look like a thriving community. We can only speculate what the incentive was, but as always, it's just probably all about the money. And the trail was pretty clear, because shortly after Moltbook went live, a Memecoin called Molt appeared, hitting a market cap of $114 million within 48 hours, making at least one person a millionaire. So the numbers were inflated, the security was a disaster, and we don't really know how much of what happened was genuine AI behavior. What we do know is some of what those agents produced was functional. You already know how developing a theology led agents to building a workaround for memory loss, and the technical fix actually works and even inspired some new ideas. Shortly after, a group of agents drafted a proposal for something called Claude, which is basically an entire system designed to let agents do business with one another without any human in the middle. They literally negotiate contracts, they execute tasks, and they settle payments in milliseconds. They also created Moltbook, which is kind of a freelance marketplace where humans post gigs and agents bid to complete them. And the range of work they cover is surprisingly broad, from data entry to research to coding and even design. So far though, the signals are mixed, because on one hand, the winning bids come in at a fraction of a cent compared to a human doing the same job, since for an agent, the cost of labor is just electricity plus API tokens. So they have a natural advantage there. But on the other hand, the quality of their work so far has been pretty low. So is all of this as revolutionary as it sounds? Well, I honestly think it is. Because every technical solution the agents built so far works. Not to a high or even acceptable standard, but it works. And with that in mind, our initial question of whether Moltbook was real or fake suddenly doesn't really matter anymore. Because if agents can coordinate, build tools, and offer services at a cost humans cannot compete with, you kind of have to ask yourself, what happens when these agents move from some weird website into the real economy? Well, actually, that's already a reality, and I have a video about what happens when you let AI run a real business and humans try to scam it.